Thank you. Let's not be fucking American about this. Let's not. Like, they say no good has come of the pandemic, but there is no fucking way if a Chinese guy hadn't eaten a bat, I would ever get that kind of reception on stage. So it is lovely to be here. Thank you so much for coming along. It's amazing. I can't think of a better place to do this than in Glasgow. Thank you for wearing your masks. And at the start, I genuinely need to say thank you if you watched the stand shows all the way through. Thank you so much. It was very, very appreciated by all of the comedians. It was awesome. Now that the positive stuff is over, let's talk about the last 18 months. So, 18 months. 18 months! Can you believe it? 18 fucking months! 18! Can you believe only 18 months ago none of us knew how to wash our hands? You remember that? Do you remember those halcyon days where you'd just go to the toilet, do whatever you needed to do, and then walk straight out again? Not a care in the world. Not even if your fingers had slipped through the toilet roll. And you'd get wee bits of sweet corn under your fingernails. You'd just wipe it on the hair of the next person you hugged, because it was only 18 months ago. Can you believe only 18 months ago you would join the army and expect to defend your country rather than being asked to split up a child's birthday party because an unexpected auntie has turned up? Can you believe that? Only 18 months ago. Can you believe? Only 18 months ago, you weren't even given it a second thought of sucking off a stranger in his car for some hand sanitizer. You wouldn't have done it. You wouldn't have done it. But that's what I did. That's what I did. On the 24th of March, 2020, and I'm glad I did it, because it's how I got to know my neighbours. So it was important. It's been hellish, 18 months. Look, did anyone have a good lockdown? No one had a good lockdown. No one had a good lockdown. Matt Hancock, he had a good lockdown. Like, he had a belter of a lockdown, didn't he? Like, and when people used to go, oh, God, look how tired he is from all the work he's doing. That's not why he was tired, is it? Oh, God, no. Like, sex is good, but I can't even imagine how good sex must be if you've just been on TV telling the entire nation they can't have sex. Oh, my God. Can you imagine? Can you imagine the strain his ballsack must have been after that briefing? Oh, must have been like the Pamplona running of the bulls in there. Like, Do you remember when he pretended to cry? Remember that? It was a weird moment in British history, wasn't it? He's pretending to cry, and like I said at the time, the only time I want to see Matt Hancock cry is if he's come home early from work and found his wife in bed with a family dog, right? And when they ask the kids who do they want to be their dad, they say the dog. That's the only. And I wasn't that far off, to be fair. But yeah, it's been horrible. Like, this job, I imagine most of your jobs, like, shut down. Like, this job ended. It just ended overnight. And we tried to improvise. We did some work. Like, we did the online stuff. We did drive-in comedy. Ooh, drive-in comedy. Oh, take me back. Oh. If you've ever been to drive-in comedy. See, if you want to know how shit drive-in comedy is, right? See, when you go home tonight, go out and tell your car a joke. Right, see what that does for your self-esteem. Every weekend I'm on the internet trying to convince the Scottish government that stand-up's an art form. And the other nights I'm doing the fucking Transformers Christmas do. That's like... And, like, God bless them for trying. Like, because they've done it. They did it. They do drive-in movies every winter as well. And it's all right, but we don't have the culture. We don't have the history of it. It's such an American thing. It's like an American dream, American graffiti, Grease Lightning kind of thing, where you get the couple and they'll go and watch the drive-in movie, and as the sun is setting, they'll make out on the hood of a Cadillac. It's like, it's fine. You try that at Glasgow airport. You're just delaying a dogging session. You've just got men with angry erections looking back at you going, I've only got this car for another half an hour, mate, so you better fucking... And I've missed so much. Like, I've missed a lot. I've missed hecklers. Oh, God, I've missed it. Like, if you want to heckle tonight, I will greet you like a long-lost relative. I don't give a shit. I missed it so much. I've missed it. I miss people walking out. God, I've missed that. Like, I will try my absolute best to get someone to walk out of this tonight. Because that's the difference with the live entertainment. Like, if you go and see a comedy show, you go and see a play, you go and see a band, a film, anything, you don't like it, you can just walk out. You've paid for the ticket, that's your right. You can just walk out. No one will have a problem with it. If you watch an online show, which a lot of you have done in the past year, you don't like it, you can just shut your laptop down. Yeah. If you don't like a drive-in comedy show, right, there's nothing more demoralising than watching someone do a 58-point turn because you can't, like, you know, when other folk are jumping at their cars giving directions, just like that. But yeah, this job ended. But luckily, I got a new job straight away, just like that. Didn't even apply for it, didn't even want it. Just overnight, I was told my new job, I was told suddenly that I was going to be a teacher. Yeah, suddenly I was going to be the teacher to my children, which was incredible. Like, I don't know, like any parents, your parents, yeah, did you have to do homeschooling? Yeah, how did you find it? You put them back to school? Yeah. Key worker. Yo, you're key worker. Key workers. Good, yeah. Taxi driver and runs a food bank. Right, for fuck's sake, I can't really come back to that, can I? Like that. Well, no, I've already said you can heckle as much as you want, but I didn't expect the fucking food bank thing. I mean, for God's sake, like, I've already gone key worker. She's feeding the poor, for Christ's sake. Like, it's practically Marcus Rashford in the front row here. Like. Good on you both. Good on you, yeah. No, is this all right? Don't worry about it. You what? There's no contact sheet. Oh, did you go for a high five there? Oh, sorry, man, I don't know, listen, no. I mean, this is weird now. Look at that, eh? Oh, yes, my God. How? You ever seen two more middle-aged white guys in their life than that? It's like I've just bought a fucking caravan off you. God. It's tough. So tough at homeschooling. Like, what a moron generation of kids they're going to end up being like. Like, there needs to be some kind of dispensation for them when they get into the workforce. What they've been through. Like, when they're at work one day and they've spent an hour trying to push open, is he off? Right. This is incredible. This is like, what a renegade. You don't know where you are with this guy, do you? He's got a hire. Fuck off, he's got a hire. Amazing. God. Hey. Oh. Go on. Go on, wait. I can't can't release something and have one of the fucking front row do better than me, for Christ's sake. I'm not like... You're going to meet your maker in the editing suite, I'll tell you that much. Yeah. But yeah, 10 months I was a teacher. 10 months of my children, 10 tough months, because it was hard. Like, it was hard because my kids go to a Gaelic school. Yeah, I made it even tougher for myself. My kids go to a Gaelic school because my wife is from there. The north. And I've never learned it. Of course I've not learned it. Why would I? I'm never going to be in a village bartering over sheep. So why the fuck would I bother learning that devil tongue? It was so tough. So I'm teaching the kids in a different language. And it's just me and them, the three of us all day. My wife's working harder than she ever has, right? Just me and them. And at the start of it, people always, like, I must warn you, I'm not going to talk about the lockdown the whole time, but you kind of need to mention it. Like, like one of the first gigs we came back to, one of the promoters said to us, would you mind not talking about coronavirus or the pandemic too much? I think people are kind of sick of hearing about it. I was like, what do you want me to talk about? Like, this is all that has happened. Like, this has affected me. Who do you think I am, Rita Ora? Like, this has affected me as well. Like, so it was just me and them all day. And at the start of it, one of my pals came up to me and was like, oh, it must be great. Must be great, this lockdown for you. It must be great. Must be great for you creative people. You must be getting loads done. Yeah? And one of my pals said, do you know that during the Spanish flu pandemic that Shakespeare wrote King Lear and Macbeth? And I was like, did he? Good. Yeah. I imagine Shakespeare wasn't getting punched in the balls every 2 minutes for putting on the wrong fucking episode of Paw Patrol. So I don't think it's the same, is it? 10 months. 10 months. I honestly think if that had lasted another couple of months, I'd have been involved in the first ever homeschool shooting. And other parents, when they went back, other parents asking me, can I come up to me going, oh, you're going to send your kids back? You're going to send them back, even though the virus is still around? I'm like, yes. I have been stuck with these cunts for 10 months. Like, I would send my children back to school if their teacher was the fucking monkey from Outbreak, to be honest. So it's hard because you realise how much respect your kids have for you. Like, do you have kids, you two? Yeah. Is there a parent in the house that they're more terrified of if they get in trouble? Yeah. It's always the mum. Like, it was the mum in my life. I was terrified of my mum. Like, and it's definitely in my house as well. Like, unbelievable. Like, I've seen when my kids will spill juice on a laminate floor and they'll consider leaving the country because my wife's roaming about. Like, whereas I honestly think my son could steal the car keys, drive into a police station and just walk away going, fuck you gonna do that, you fat prick. Like, just like... I don't care. There's no respect for that. Like, no. And it should be that way. It really should, because you've done more for them. You really have. Mums have done more. Like, you gave birth to them. You gave them life. You fed them. You know? Like, my wife breastfed, which was something I was very, very supportive of. Like, I went to all of the classes. And until I got asked to take my sketch pad and leave. But you realise the respect that you don't have in your own house. And it really came home last Christmas, right? I don't know if you have this in your houses. Do you do the elf on the shelf thing? No, I don't. It's not. If you don't know what it is, right? It's an American thing, again, that we've adopted. Every December, parents will go out at the start of December and they'll buy like this felt elf, right? And you'll stick it on a shelf in your house. And he's like Santa's representative in your home. Right, so you'll watch how the kids are behaving. If they misbehave, he'll report back to Santa. They might get put on the naughty list. right? And it's amazing. Like the respect they have for this elf is unbelievable. They're terrified of this thing. Like it's a scary looking bastard anyway, but like the respect is unbelievable. And it's annoying because it was fine when it was just that, when it just watched them. But now it's grown arms and legs, and the elf has to do something every night. Like he has to get up to something mischievous overnight. So I need to come up 24 things for this elf to do. And like in any year, it's tough. But in a lockdown year, you're like, why am I giving this guy a better social life than I've got just now? Like that. My wife's like, put a wee sweatband on and pretend he's been to the gym. I can't even go to the gym. Why's he getting... And there's only so many times you can get up at 6 a.m. and prop him up next to an empty can of Stella. And just like, just put a line of baking powder in front of him. And just a naked Barbie taking the morning after pill. Just like that. And they've all got them. All of the kids. Every single kid in the school has got them. So they try and outdo each other, right? There's a big competition. So my kids are going to school and they'll hear their pals going, oh, you should have seen what our elf did last night. You should have seen what our elf did. He nicked my dad's car keys and he put them in the freezer. And then my dad couldn't find them and he was late for work. And then another one will go, well, our elf pushed over our Christmas tree and smashed all the baubles, so now we need to buy a new one. Right? So you need to try and outdo them. One night, our elf robbed our neighbour's house, which was fair play, because we got a new telly out of it, which was brilliant. And they've got a name. Ours is called Ernie. Ernie the elf, right? And this is when I realised the lack of respect I've got in my house. My son came up to me last Christmas, and he came up to me one day and he went, Dad, see how you're a comedian? How come Ernie's funnier than you? And I was like, well, should have just left it. And I was like, is he? Is he funnier than me? Is he? Is Ernie funnier than me? Is he? Yeah, is he? Yeah. Did Ernie win Scottish Comedian of the Year in 2006? Did he win that purely because nobody good entered? Did he win that? Did he? Did Ernie write the 6th funniest joke of the Fringe in 2016, only to be beaten by a vegetable pun? Did he? Did Ernie get 205 million views on YouTube purely because his daughter's cute? Did he? No, did he? Is Ernie claiming this night as a sellout even though social distance means it clearly not? Is he? No, he's not. He's not. I tell you why he's not doing that, because he's not fucking real. That's why. I do everything for him. Tell you who else isn't real? Santa. He's not real either. And it's about time you fucking knew that. He's 6 years old. So it prepares you for how shite a life this is. You've got to learn. I feel sorry for the kids. Like, do your kids did they do okay during the lockdown? They're all right. I feel really sorry for them, man. I feel sorry for young kids, but they're resilient. They'll get through it. Younger people, like you two, you're quite young. How old are you? 29, 30. You're the kind of age that's really going to be buggered with this. Because you've been buggered with a pandemic, and then you're going to come out of that, and then you've got global warming to deal with, and that's like... I'm like, fuck me, man. How much more can you people take? Like, it's ridiculous. And I was one of those folk that I've never denied climate change. Of course, I've never denied it, right? I just never thought it would get. I thought when it would get serious, right, we'd just throw money at it, and it would be fine, right? I thought that. But then in the past month or so, I've realised. Do you know when you realise that climate change is really getting bad? See, within 1 week, when all of the Earth's billionaires suddenly build rockets to go to the moon, then you go, there's something going on here, isn't there? Like, why are they trying to find another planet? And at least Jeff Bezos, the Amazon guy's honest about it. Just a guy with loads of money that wants to build a rocket shaped like a cock and fly about space. It's fine. It's Richard Branson that pisses me off. But he pretends he's doing it for humanitarian reasons. And he comes out and he goes, I want to be the driving force behind British space travel. I don't really want to put space travel in the hands of someone that can't even get Wi-Fi to work in his fucking trains. Like, I'm not that confident about how we'll navigate an asteroid belt if he can't even navigate me watching Mad Men on the train to Newcastle. You know, I want to make space travel affordable for everybody. You can't even make a return to Dundee affordable for everybody. Like, what? I don't want to get to Mars and realise I'm stuck there because I've bought an off-peak ticket. Yeah, like. And I've tried to do bits to help the planet. Like I did in January, so this would be the January of 2020, just before the pandemic. I did Veganuary. Right? I went vegan for a month. I did Veganuary. My wife did dry January because she no longer finds me attractive. And I did it. I really enjoyed it. Is there any vegan people here? No vegan people? No. It's Glasgow. What the fucking... Why am I asking? I did it because I'll be honest with you, I did it for weight loss reasons. Which was pointless because the first day in I realised crisps are vegan. So, there you go. Are you missing meat, Mark? No, not at all, because I've had half a kilo of Monster Munch for my breakfast, so I'm good. I did it for weight loss reasons. I didn't do it for humanity, kind of animal welfare reasons. It's not that I don't love animals. I love animals a lot. I never realised the shit they go through. I realise it now. And it's not even that I didn't realise what they go through. I never thought they were that bothered about it. You know? I never thought it was an issue. I always thought they just knew that was what was going to happen. I never thought they were that gutted about getting killed. I never imagined a cow standing waiting to get slaughtered, just looking up to the sky wistfully going, oh, I never saw Paris. I never thought it was that big a deal. Because they must know. They must. It must get passed down from generations. Like a pig. Pig's the smartest animal in the world. You can't tell me at no point no pig has sat down and gone, do you know what? Every single bit of us is tasty. Everything. Our cheeks are tasty. Nobody's cheeks are tasty. They must. They tell me no crocodile, not one crocodile ever, has walked past, caught a glimpse of the reflection and thought, do you know what? I'd make a cracking bag. They fucking know. So no, I did it to lose weight, and because there's certain points, there's certain triggers, there's certain instances where you realise you're going to start having to deal with the weight you're putting on. And most of us will have it at the end of the pandemic when it finally over. There was two big things that happened to me in the Christmas of 2019. Right, the first one was I said out loud in front of my family the sentence, "I can't believe I need another shite already." Right. Right. And my wife just looked at me disgusted and went, "The kids are trying to open their presents here. This isn't right." And the other one, me and my wife were in bed. We were having marital sex. We were having consensual marital sex in bed. And I tried a new move. I tried a new move. Who the fuck do I think I am? At 40 years old, a new move. Like you, 30, you'll have an entire playbook of moves, just like that. You'll be like an NFL coach shouting out fucking... I've got two moves. 3 if we've been drinking, but 2. A new move. And it was a move It was a move where we were both lying down on our sides, and my wife was pointing away from me, and I was behind her, and I was kind of trying to slip in from the back, just like kind of like try to get in from the back, right? And my belly wouldn't let me get there. I was like you're just acting like a barrier, you know, like you know when you're doing DIY and you've got a screw that's lost its thread, and you're like, if I can just catch an edge, I'll be like, I mean, let's get a wee bit of purchase here, I'll be in, but my belly was acting like her dad. It didn't want us to be together. Yeah, so. Never tried it before, and it was a move. It was a move that I had seen in a pornographic feature film, right? Pornographic feature presentation. Because I don't watch pornography anymore. I don't. Do you? I'm afraid to ask. I don't watch. A lot of modern pornography makes me feel quite uncomfortable. The main reason, I'll be honest, I don't watch pornography anymore is because I take a lot of antidepressants, so I will never ejaculate ever again. It would be like going out hunting without any bullets and having fun aiming at things for me. I just utterly pointless. I don't like porn. And I was thinking about it when I was writing this stuff. I was thinking about the other time when I've been in that kind of porn star situation. I remember when I first moved up here to Glasgow, I went out one night and I met a girl in a club. And as we were going back to her place, and we were in the taxi. She was telling me all the stuff she was into, and I was getting quite uncomfortable. And then we got back to her place, and she asked me if I would slap her in the face with my penis, right? And I was like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to. But I thought, when in Rome, when in Partick, if I'm honest. But it was like, but I thought I'll give it a go, right? So I gave it a go. But the problem is, I don't have the length, so I missed. I missed a couple of times. It was like at one point I took a run up. I was there's nothing that makes you feel less like a porn star than when you've lightly brushed someone's nasal hair. You know, when you're like, when your dick's made the same sound as a golfer that's missed a drive. Yes. Just don't have it. Don't have the length, which is weird because my balls are huge. I have huge, massive balls, massive, big, ungainly balls. Horrible, cute. You'll still be. Honest to God, you've no idea. It's weird that juxtaposition I've got. It's like my dick's acting like the minute hand of a grandfather clock, and I've just got these two things just fucking like a metronome. You know, just. 30 years old. Have you ever sat on a testicle? No, you never sat on a testicle. I've sat in front of my testicles. Right, that's how big. I've blocked my testicles' view of the world at some point. A weird thing, and I'm doing my dick a disservice. I always like to describe my penis as being like Steve Buscemi. Right, it's not great to look at. But it always does a decent job. I'll be honest, did most of its best work in the 90s. It's such a weird thing, especially when you're trying to do that kind of move, where you're just constantly missing, but my balls are splayed either side of her cheeks. Making her look like she's collecting food for the winter. You've got all this to come for you, man. What age are you? What's your name? Stefan. Yeah, and you've got all this to come to you, man, because there's certain, the pandemic has aged me, and I've realised stuff. Because there's a lot of things that I think we should keep after everything goes back to normal. I think table service in places is good. Yeah, we should keep that. Good, right? Masks in certain things. Like, good on yous for all wearing your masks and stuff. And also, masks, like, they're the friend of the ugly. Like, really are. Like, they really, like, I've looked like a piece of shit in the past year, but as long as you keep your eyes in tip-top condition, you're fine. Like, oh. One thing I don't want to lose, right, and I realised it was in danger. I saw the Welsh Health Minister. He came out with a statement. He said that the pandemic should allow us to end the infantile activity that is stag do's and hen do's. I was like, no, we can't lose them. We can't. They're such a quintessential British thing. God, I love, because like, have you been on a stag do, Stefan? Yeah. Do you love it? At times. See, you're still young enough where you don't need it. You don't need it. Like, you're still young enough where you can go, yeah, it was all right, but whereas we need a fucking, don't we? We need a stag do. We need, don't we? I've seen like younger folks so aloof about stag do's, going, I might go to the stag do, I might not. See how I feel. I'm like, no, we need them. And I'm not talking about modern stag do's where somebody says to you, oh, we've booked a cottage in Pembrokeshire for the weekend. No. I need Magaluf. I need it. I need to buy crushed up Rennies from a foreign man in a toilet. I need it. I need that. I don't need to go paddleboarding on the Sunday. I need to go to Croatia and throw a grenade at a cow. That's what I need. I know. I need a cow standing there lamenting about never seeing Paris and then just fucking. I need to go to a lap dancing club. I do. I'm not even going to get a dance. I'm not. All I'm going to do is sit beside a bored Lithuanian woman as she listens to me about how we fit Kieran Tierney and Andy Robertson into the same system. Right? That's what I need. Because we need this stuff back. We need this. We need normal life back. And it's so nice that this is happening, and it's so nice that people are starting to get back to normal. And there's only one way we're going to do it. Right? Now, the second half of the show gets a lot more contentious. So, has everyone had their vaccine? Yeah. Has anyone not had the vaccine? Yes. Shit. I didn't plan for this. Let's just assume you've got medical reasons and move on. It's not the night for debate, it's the night for fun. But it is. Listen, I'll listen to anyone, right? I think one of the worst things through this entire pandemic is the way it has split people up. There's such a division between people. Everything is binary. Like, you either agree with someone or you don't agree with them. You never listen. There's no nuance in any argument anymore. You never listen to other people's opinion. I listen to I understand there are people's worries about the vaccine, but it's generally the only way that folk are going to get out of it. Like, some folk have tried to ignore that the pandemic exists. Of course it does. Some people have tried to claim that it's been manufactured. Some people turn to religion. I saw the Pope on TV saying that he was going to pray to God to save us from coronavirus. And I was like, why don't you ask the vengeful cunt why he gave us it in the first place? How's it about? Look at that. But it is the only way, and I understand people's fears. I understand the way it's been manufactured, how quickly it's been done, and there might, people's worries about what's in it. But personally speaking, I don't care what's in it. I honestly couldn't give a shit what's in it. I couldn't. Like, I have taken cocaine off a toilet seat at Tea in the Park, right? I am fairly certain I'm immune to dengue fever now, right? So I don't give a fuck what's in it. I don't care if you've spat in it. I don't care if you scratched your arse while you were making it. Just stick it in me and let me get on with stuff, right? Even the vaccine passports. I completely understand the ethical and the security reasons behind that. But I'll show you anything, right? I'll show you a passport. See if it gets me to where I can just go in for a pint somewhere without having to book it 3 weeks in advance. I'll show you a Polaroid of me being fisted in a German sex dungeon, right? See if it gets me If it gets me to a point where my entire phone isn't just fucking apps for different pubs, I will love it, right? Because I've got about 60 apps for 60 different pubs, and I'm running out of memory. Right? And there's nothing sadder than seeing a 40-year-old man standing outside somewhere, deciding whether it's more important that he's got a video of his son's first birthday or if he gets a Witherspoon's breakfast, right? It's sad. Because I'll still drinking Witherspoons. Yeah. Like, I feel sorry for their workers. I don't think they're being treated right, but it's $2.69 for a pint. Like, fuck them. Like, it's like everyone's principles have a price, and mine is $2.69. It's like, Witherspoon. Like, is there anyone in here that's not from the UK? No. Well, Brexit's working, huh? That's what we voted for, my man. See how easy it is to start a right-wing movement? My God, that was it. I had to explain to someone in Edinburgh. It was my wife's, my pal's wife, and she's from France, and they don't have Wetherspoons. She was asking about what Wetherspoons was. And I was like, well, Wetherspoons, it's like a place for people that think drinking at home alone's a wee bit too positive. You know, like, and you can easily recreate the Wetherspoons experience. All you do is you drink a pint of drain water, right? Ask your neighbour to say something racist, and then any time you need a piss, just walk 5 miles. It's... But yeah, take the vaccine. Like I say, if you've got legitimate arguments against it, I'll listen to them, you know. I'll listen to conspiracy theorists. I will. I'll listen to them. Like, what annoys me, right? Do you remember when conspiracy theorists were quite an underground kind of thing? Like, you'd have to search for conspiracy theory. You'd have to, like, go on the certain websites or listen to certain podcasts. It's mainstream now. Like, I saw the 5G conspiracy theory getting discussed on GMTV. I was like, listen, breakfast television, it's not the place for conspiracy theories, is it? It's not, like, I don't want to see Eamon Holmes arguing about why the Holocaust was a hoax and then going, next up, how to make the perfect cheese scone. No, it's not the place. I'll listen to you, but you never get really good-looking conspiracy theorists either, do you? You never get really hot, successful conspiracy theorists. You never see Chris Hemsworth in a gym pumping iron, just going, the moon landings were faked. Margot Robbie in a bubble bath, just rubbing them into her breasts, going, 9/11 was an inside job. It's always these cunts that wear shorts all day long. And let's say I did debate with you if your arguments weren't so easy to just completely tear apart. Like, the main one about the vaccine is Bill Gates is involved. Bill Gates is involved, and he's put a tracker in every one of the vaccines. He's put a tracker so that they can track our every movement. Yeah. I imagine that's why they gave it to the elderly and the infirm first. Yeah, if ever there was a group needing tracked, it's those sneaky bastards, isn't it? Yeah. What have those old wanks been getting up to all this time? Under the radar. God, I'd hate to be the Microsoft employee that got handed my gran's case. It's just watching a 90-year-old woman walk from her couch to her front window because an Asian family have moved in next door. And they get so annoyed about everything. Everyone gets so annoyed about everything. Remember when Noel Gallagher and Ian Brown came out against the vaccine? People were so angry about it. How dare Ian Brown do this? How dare he? How dare Ian Brown say this kind of... He's got a platform. People will listen to him. If you're going to Ian Brown for medical advice like that, the death's on you. Like, you deserve the worst death possible. I don't want my rock stars to be medically knowledgeable. Like, Like I would go to Ian Brown and Noel Gallagher for medical advice, the same way I'd go and see Chris Whitty or Patrick Vallance do Nebworth. Right? It's not their forte. But it's all part of one thing. It's all part of what not just the British government, the Scottish government do it. Every government, pretty much throughout the world, they do it. Division is the greatest power that they have. If they divide the country, if they get the people on two sides of an argument, all that will happen is the two sides will argue with each other and they'll forget the fucking mess that they're making of everything. And it's the only way they do it. They just pit us against each other. They do it with everything. They do it with the vaccine. Yeah, it's like they do it with they're pitting young people against older people. You know, they're like saying to you, old people don't want you to go out and enjoy yourselves. And they're saying, old people, young people want you to die. And they do it with everything. They're taking the knee thing, and they do it with they even did it, right? They did it during the Euros a couple of months ago, right? They tried to create division between Scotland and England, right? As if our countries need any more division. Like, you know, they did it with that in the run-up to the final. Like, is there any English people here? Yeah, good. No, don't fucking boo. Don't boo. Because, like, in the run-up, like, I'll be honest with you, right, English folk, it was very, very hard to hate the England team this year. It was very, very hard. It was. Like, I managed, but it was very, very hard. Like, Harry Maguire helped a lot, but it was very, very hard. But the run-up to it, like the articles and news reports were going, Scotland aren't supporting us in the final. How dare they? Oh, what's wrong with them? Oh, what does this mean for the future of the UK? Fuck all. It doesn't mean anything. Like, and English, what I loved about England supporters, they always come back with that argument where we go, well, if Scotland were in the final, we'd support you. Yeah. Such an easy promise to make, isn't it? Like, when it's never gonna fucking happen. It's such a throwaway promise. Like, yeah, we'd support you. Yeah. It's like when you have a discussion with your family about winning the lottery, and your brother will go, see, if you win the lottery, would you give me some money? Of course I'd give you some money. And then you win the lottery, you're like, fuck all. Like, I never thought this would happen. Huh? Or like as a couple, like you two a couple. Have you ever had that discussion where if one of you was really badly disfigured in a fire, if you'd stay together? Yeah. And there's only one answer you can give. Of course you'd stay with it. Oh, God, it's not about looks for me. That's what my wife says. Oh, it's not about looks. Like, whereas in reality, she'd be fucking riding one of the firemen as they try to put out the blaze. Like, I just see her bouncing up and down on Sam's dick while I drag my fucking charred, disfigured Terminator 2 body out of the flames. Doesn't mean I don't love English people. Of course I do. Didn't want you to win the final. There's a rivalry. Like, even my pals I've had for decades coming up to me going, Mark, are you telling me that you would support any team if they were playing England? Like, yep. Any team. Are you telling me you would support Hungary with their anti-gay stance if they were playing England? Yep, support Hungary. Are you telling me that you would support Russia with all that? Listen, I'm going to stop you there, right? I would support an Al-Qaeda paedophile 11 if they were playing England. Right? The only quandary I would have that day would be whether to get Savile or Bin Laden on my shirt, right? Doesn't mean I hate England. Of course I don't. To want the team to win. But that's what they use. That's what the government use. Patriotism, nationalism is the biggest tool that they've got. If you don't love your country, you're a terrible person. God, why do you hate this country so much? Like, they do it all the time. There was a Tory politician that tried to introduce a thing. She brought it to Parliament, where she argued that every single home in Britain should have a portrait of the Queen. We should all have a portrait of the Queen in our house, right? And our argument was because people are starting to forget about the Queen. Like, no, they're not. No, of course they're not. Like, have you ever had a discussion with someone where you go, do you remember the Queen? The who? No, they're a different band. Completely different band. Somebody's forgetting about the Queen. I've always got a queen. Look, here a wee queen. Look, every coin. Look, tiny wee queen. Look, always there. Look. If you ever want to know what the Queen looks like, just grab any coin. She's always there. Or do what Piers Morgan does. Do what he does whenever he's feeling especially patriotic, right? The most patriotic man in the entire country, Piers Morgan. Do what he does whenever something's annoyed him. You know, whenever Greggs have brought out a new item that he doesn't like. Or whenever a black woman speaks, right? Do what he does. Do what he does and just wank directly onto a stamp. That's what he does. Sits there and fucking jizzies. Ejaculates all over her frail, murderous face. One person took even further with nationalism. Robert Jenrick, the housing minister, he argued that we should all have Union Jacks in our houses. We should all have the Union flag in our houses. The only time I want to see Robert Jenrick associated with a Union Jack is if it's being handed to his widow. Because I thought all this had gone. I thought Brexit had taken all this shit away. That was the idea. Get Brexit. That was the slogan. Get Brexit done. Just get it done. Just fucking get it done. Just get it done. Doesn't matter what happens. Just get it done. Get it done. Just get it done. Like, that's not how you should have that. That massive decision shouldn't be decided with just get it done. Like if you needed a life-saving operation, you would want the finalist analysts and surgeons to plan for every possible eventuality. You wouldn't just run into the waiting room with a pair of garden shears and hand them to the Johnny and go, just fucking get it done. Get it done. Like, I'm not gonna, like, I don't know how like, if you voted for Brexit, fair enough, it's your decision. Like, I don't know if it might work out. It might work out great. It won't, but it might work out great. Like, it might, you know, like, but it's your decision. I'm not gonna preach to you. One of the most fascinating, I fucking knew the Brexit stuff would get into it. He was all over the slagging the Pope bit, wasn't he? But then, yeah. One of the most fascinating conversations I've ever had. I had a conversation with a guy down in England about Brexit, and he wasn't worried about it at all. He was like, it'll be fine. It'll be absolutely fine. I tell you why it'll be fine. His reasoning was incredible. He went, "We are Great Britain, right? We are great Britain. We are great Britain. We're fine because we are great. But listen to what I'm saying. We are great. That's why we are called Great Britain. Because we are great." I'm like, no, that's not how place names work at all. Like, I've been to Singapore and hardly any of them can hold a tune. It's not. This had disappeared. And like I say, I'm not going to preach to you about Brexit. I'm not going to be fuck that. I know about anything. I'm not going to preach it. I also don't want to become one of those comedians. You know, a lot of these people last year complain about the cancel culture, going, "Oh, you can't say anything anymore. Oh, God, you can't say." Yes, you can. Say what the fuck you want. Like, I've just wished death on the housing minister of Britain. Like, nothing's happened, is it? I called God a vengeful cunt. Say whatever you want. This is one of the only jobs you can say whatever you want. Like, if I come out at the start tonight, right, and I pointed at you, and I went, guess what I did? I shagged your mum, right? Yeah. Even you're laughing a wee bit. Yeah. Nothing happens, because that's a job I can say that. If a priest said that, though, different story. Yeah. he'd never do a funeral again, would he? Just walking out, going to shag your mum. That's why she's dead. It's this government that we have now. Like, it's just incredible. Like, Johnson, like Boris Johnson, he's almost beyond parody now. I love the way they humanise him now, Boris Johnson. I love the way they try. They did it when he got married to Carrie Simmons. A load of papers say it's like a fairy tale. The relationship is like a fairy tale. And I suppose it is like a fairy tale. Shrek. So I never understood, again, about the conspiracy theorists, right? This idea that there's been this grand master plan and there's this great reset in all the governments. And like, how much hope are you pinning on Boris Johnson to run that? Like, look at the man, for fuck's sake. Like, you think he would never have leaked at any point, stumbled over that? That's the guy you think has planned this entire mastermind thing? That guy that walks about with a constant air of someone that's just realised he's put bubble bath in the dishwasher? That's the guy, that's the mega mind behind all this. Like, it's like that thing where what I never understood, right, is the correlation between people that love the royal family and love Boris Johnson, right? There's a massive cross with him. Because he's one of the only people that's ever lied to the Queen, Boris Johnson. Like, he openly admitted to lying to the Queen. Like, he lied to a 95-year-old woman, and he's not even a builder. Like, what the fuck is... And he lied to the Queen. Jacob Rees-Mogg lied to the Queen. One of their aides lied to the Queen. The Queen hasn't been lied to this much since her son said, of course she's 18. Hey. That's another one. That's why a revolution will never happen. He's just running about, isn't he, Andrew? Just running about. His daughter got married last year, and he wasn't in any of the photos. And people are going, oh, they wanted to just keep it as a couple. Yeah, maybe it is that. Or maybe it's the fact that he's a fucking massive paedophile. Maybe that's why. Maybe that's why they didn't want him in the wedding. Maybe that's why. Maybe that's why he wasn't creeping around making sure he got the first dance with the flower girl. Maybe that's why he was... Seems so long ago. Like that interview when he was... I've never met that woman because I know where I was. I was having dinner in Pizza Express. I remember it. Now, I don't know if you've ever eaten in Pizza Express, but I've never looked around and gone, this is memorable. This is... Oh. God. Imagine being the PR department for Pizza Express the day after that. Why are we trending? Oh, God. Oh, no, God. Oh, Jesus. Just on the phone to every branch. Turn up the heat and make people sweat. Make them sweat. His PR making him do that interview. Jesus. That's the biggest car crash I've seen involving a royal since... Let you finish that joke. You can't say anything anymore. You can't say anything anymore. Tories, man. Just the worst. Like that. You know, like, they keep getting one. Dominic Raab the other day, the Afghanistan thing. I couldn't have been paddleboarding because they closed the sea. They closed the sea. The sea. The entire sea. They closed it. Like, they didn't even close the sea when it was on fire, for fuck's sake. How did they close the sea? How did they close it? Who was on lifeguard duty that day? Poseidon? Like, what? And I tell you who I used to hate at the start of this tour? Michael Gove, but after last weekend, seems sound, doesn't he? Seems all right. Yeah. When you're going through a divorce and you turn up in a suit to a nightclub on your own, it's a wee glimpse into the future for me there. I'm like, yeah, it's like... I always used to wonder why people would ever do coke with Michael Gove, but now I'm like that. Fucking get the Gove star around, man. Ain't no party until Brighton and Gove Albion's here, yeah. And I'm not saying Scotland's any better. We're not. We're not any better. We love to think we are. God, we love to think we are. English people, we fucking love to think we're better than you. Oh, God, we love it. We'd love it. Because obviously you're a big racist country in England, and we'd love to be racist. We'd love to be racist. We're itching to be racist, but we'll never do it just to spite you. Spite that stops our hatred coming through. We fucking love it. We'll act just as bad. Like, during the Euros, England fans are going mental, doing all sorts of shit, and we'll go down and do exactly the same, but then we'll clean up afterwards. Oh, God. Look how much better we are. I'll pee in the street, but only if it's raining. Not done perfectly at all, the SNP. It's important that people realise the failings of the SNP as well. We've done all right, done decent things, like coronavirus now in Scotland is only the second biggest danger to middle-aged women after Alex Salmond. So, I don't know. Progress. Well, that doesn't mean we've done everything right. Of course they've not. But the SNP always, they hold themselves up against the Tories in Westminster. And that's not a good barometer to have, is it? When you're going, well, we did a better job than them. You're like, my fucking son's nursery class could have done a better job than them. Like, you can't. It's like being in a pub with your dick out and going, I'm not the worst person in here because the guy next to you's taking a shit on the floor. Like, you're still pretty bad. You need to call these, like, some of their things even now make no sense. Like, young people, any young people in here, they could go out after this, go to a nightclub, shag a complete stranger in the toilets, but then have to whip on their mask for double geography in the morning. Right? It doesn't make any sense. Right? They've made mistakes. Our drugs deaths as a country are huge. 7 years they've risen. 7 years at a record high, our drugs deaths. Or, as Nicola Sturgeon calls it, solving the homeless problem. Turns out you can't say anything anymore, huh? Interesting what you can and can't say in Scotland. We're not racist people. Like, I don't know, like, I'm disappointed there's not anybody here from another country, because we love foreigners in this country. We fucking love foreigners. Like, see, if you say you're going to come over here and take our job, we're fucking delighted. Absolutely. Means we can sit in our arse and catch up on Homes Under the Hammer. It's amazing. There's a reason we love immigrants. The reason we love immigrants in this country, right? Very simple reason. The fact is, we're a very ugly people. We're an ugly, ugly race of people. Look around this room. I mean, honestly, there's a reason I need these lights at this low level, because some of you make me physically sick. That's why we love foreigners coming, because they make the place look nice, don't they? That's why we have a festival in Edinburgh every year. That's got fuck all to do with the arts. That's a genetic programme. And that's the idea. Every August, some Brazilian samba band will come over, go out one night, get pissed, shag some of the locals, freshen up the gene pool. And maybe, I don't know, give us a striker. That's all I'm after. That's what I've missed the most. That's what I've missed the most about this past year. Like, going away, other places. Like did anyone have a holiday cancelled in the past year? Yeah, it's annoying. Like, me and my family, we go to Portugal every year, right? My wife grew up there. She's got family that stay over there. And 2 years now, we're supposed to be going. Last year was never really going to happen. Like, it was a kind of pipe dream, right? We're in the middle of a pandemic. This year, it generally looked like it might happen. You know, we'd booked the flights because Portugal was on the green list. It was on the green list, right? And then there was rumours on the run-up to the holiday that it was going to be moved up to the amber list, right? So So I remember we watched it as a family. We watched the briefing that Grant Shapps did that day. We're watching it like the lottery result. We're just like, come on, not Portugal. Come on, not Portugal. And then he came out and he started going into countries and he went, Mallorca. And I was like, oh, that's a blow. That's a blow. And then he said, Menorca. And I was like, fuck, all the orcas are going. Oh, this is... And then he said, Portugal. And we were gutted, absolutely gutted. The kids were devastated because I hadn't been on holiday for 2 years. My wife was gutted. I was like, oh, Christ. I knew we wouldn't get any refunds, we wouldn't get any of the money back and all that kind of stuff. And then we were all kind of consoling each other. And the briefing went on in the background and I heard them say, Afghanistan. Hey. Any real need to announce that at the briefing? Is that not just assumed that Afghanistan wasn't like, was there another family somewhere in Britain gathered round the telly, worried about Afghanistan coming over? As soon as he said it, the guy had gone, oh, for fuck's sake, fucking Afghanistan. Fucking Jesus, fuck. We were going to go to Splash World Kabul. The wife's first holiday since she gave birth. She was going to go out, she was going to drink, she was going to get stoned. Like, brother was out there last year, ended up legless. This is... Shouldn't Afghanistan always be on a red list? What with it being a fucking war zone? Is that like was COVID that much of a danger in Afghanistan? Was there many coach trips where they'd watch an unexploded mine go off and somebody go, as long as nobody takes off their mask, we'll be fine. Like, I've lost a lot of things on holiday. Right? I've lost my passport, I've lost money. Do you know what I've never lost? My actual head. Now, I should point out that this bit was written before the events of the last week and a half. So... But that just shows you how shit the British intelligence is. The fact that you could have gone to Afghanistan. You could have gone there. Like, you imagine being a family on holiday in Afghanistan, turning up to the airport on that Saturday. Just turning up there with a fake beard on you've bought at the market. Just like that, like, blow up camel under your arm. Just like that, like, looking around going, it's fucking busy, isn't it? Like, what's everybody running for? You get your seat in the ticket, for Christ's sake. The reason I was gutted the most after our holiday got postponed was because this was going to be the year I was going to teach my wee boy how to swim. Right? Now, I don't know if you taught your kids how to swim, right? But different way now. Like, you get instructors and stuff. But I remember, I'm amazed that a certain generation kids ever speak to their parents ever again after they've taught them to swim. Right? Because there's no teaching involved whatsoever. Right? What you're doing is you're seeing how they cope with drowning. That's all you're doing. Like I've seen other dads doing it. Like, just holding them out in the water. And the wee kid panicking their eyes. A small chink of light that goes, well, it's my dad. There's no way he's going to drop me. He knows. He knows I can't swim. And pleading with him, going, don't drop me, Dad. Don't drop me, don't drop me. And the dad's like, I'm not going to drop you. Me, your dad. I'm not going to drop you. And his head, he's going, I'm fucking dropping you. Like, amazing. Like, amazing that we do that. Like, I've never been one of these people that would raise my kids to subscribe to that kind of, well, that's how it was done with me, and that's how I'll do it with my kids. It's like when you see people that go, I smack my children because I was smacked as a child and it's never done me any harm. Yes, it did. Because you're not a person that beats up children like that. Swimming, do it with swimming. It's the only other thing. The only other thing we do it with is riding a bike. Riding a bike, you're running along with them, holding the handlebars and all that. Don't let go, and you're like that. Whee! Okay. Don't do it with anything else. Can you imagine learning to drive, right? And your instructor tells you to take a slip road on at the motorway and then just bails out the passenger seat. Just, see how you go on with that. teaching them stranger danger by just punting them at the back of a white van. See you in 3 days, maybe. I did it differently, right? Because I'm a big fan of sharks. Right? I love sharks. I think sharks are the greatest thing in the entire world. I love sharks, right? And I'm not one of these arseholes that will downplay the danger of a shark, right? Shark will eat you. Not one of these knobs that will come to you with a fact like that. Oh, do you know that more people are killed by falling coconuts every year than by sharks? I'm going, yeah, but Steven Spielberg never made a film called Coconut. Yeah, like, there's not... Yeah. One of the most memorable lines in cinema history isn't we're going to need a bigger hat. So I like to incorporate the shark into my teachings. And I did it with my wee girl, right? And she learnt fine. What we would do is she'd be at one end of the pool, she'd have a rubber ring or armbands or something on, she'd be bobbing about. I'd be at the other end of the pool, I would be a shark, right? And I'd swim under the water, come up, grab her by the legs, throw her about the place. Like a shark attack, right? She got used to the water splashing in her eyes. She got used to going under. She had fun while she was doing it. She learned how to swim. It was great. And I'd done it with my son a couple of times the year before, right? And it worked fine. The problem is, when we're in the pool, because of the chlorine, I can't wear my contact lenses. So, what I have to do is, I have to judge where he is, how long it's going to take me to go under, so I know when to come up, grab the legs, and commence the attack. Right? The first couple of times it had worked fine. Right? Third time, he's over there, he's bobbing about having a great time. I'm over here, something like that, right? Come up. I went under, came up, grabbed his thighs, and it wasn't him. It wasn't him. He'd fucked off somewhere, and I just grabbed a random child. Just grabbed a random child's thighs, and I'm throwing this kid about the place. And back and forward like that. He's screaming, so I'm going, oh my God, he's loving it this time. I'm sinking my teeth into his thigh like that. His poor parents. Just trying to enjoy their holiday. Relaxing on a sun lounger. All of a sudden, this underwater sex offender has appeared. Or a torpedo, if you like. Eventually I realised what had gone on, and I went out to speak to his mum and dad. And I couldn't even claim it was like a genuine, understandable mistake, because my son has got blonde hair and he's not Chinese. So, ladies and gentlemen, this has been genuinely phenomenal. I honestly couldn't have asked for a better crowd than this. Before I go, there's people, can you please thank all of the staff at the stand who made it as safe as possible for you. Can you please thank Will, who's been doing the sound all this week when I've been doing shows. Massive thank you to Hendo, Sean and Al, who have been doing the filming. And massive thanks to Richard and Julia, who produced all of the Stand live shows. They've done an amazing job. Personal thanks to my pals, Sarah Watson, Caldo, my pal Mikey, who's in, my sister-in-law and her soon-to-be husband, and one of my oldest friends of comedy, Chris Broomfield, up the back. Thank you, Chris, giving me one of my first ever gigs. This has been awesome. Take care of yourselves, because obviously the virus is still around. It's still around. We all know that. You've done very well. keeping on your masks. And remember, like, just follow the rules, the simple rules. Hands, face, space. That's all you need to remember. So simple. Hands, face, space. So easy. Hands, face, space. So memorable. Like, yeah. Hands, face, space. Yeah. Not only a government slogan, but also all of the places that Neil Armstrong has ejaculated. So, thank you so much. This is Mental World. Cheers. Good night. Bye-bye.